Hi there. My name is Chris, as you know, and I'm sitting here with a friend that I've known since sixth grade, Kathy. Uh, as you know, and as a couple of listeners who've listened to this know, one of the things that I wanted to do with this channel primarily was to exemplify people who I feel are very talented but don't, always get the opportunities to display their stuff. They may have their own Instagrams, they have their own Tumblrs, or, they put stuff on Facebook, but they haven't really tried to do anything with it professionally. And with my recent change of heart and mind to go towards changing from just a hobby to professionalism, I wanted to hopefully bring my friends along with me, help them feel the same change, push towards the same goals. So let's go ahead and turn it over to Kathy now so she can introduce herself a little bit.
Hey guys, Kathy here. Just saying hello. So basically, just want to let you know a little about me. My name is Kathy. I'm 27 right now. For the longest, I've always been drawing. I think I've been drawing since as long as I can remember, since like I was 2 years old, pencil in my hand. Mom used to tell me don't color out of my lines, and I never did. So it kind of went from there. So pretty much like over the time frame that I've been doing this, it's just taking bits and pieces of everything I've seen around me and trying to incorporate that into my own style. So like as far as me thinking of what I can possibly do with this over the time frame of my life, it recently only just now came to head of what I wanted to really do.
And what is that
actually? So for the longest, I always wanted to do animation, clearly, because, of everything that I've seen around me, as you know, I've gotten into anime and watching cartoons growing up, and I just thought that I can possibly be part of that. So, but I never took a start at it. I never tried to get up and actually do it. Like, I've done little things here and there just on my own sheer will of doing it. Just by watching how others do it, watching tutorials, teaching myself how to get to that level without actually going to school for it. So I've done small gifts and things like that. I've done like blinking scenarios or a turning of a head, or just 3 days worth of a dancing one that I did that I've lost down to the abyss of I don't know where. But it was never like a possibility as a thought process.
Yeah, I remember back in sixth grade, we would always talk about the animation that you would do. You'd always show me your drawings, and I'd always tell you how I wanted to make video games, or at least be a part somehow in video games. What made you transition from thinking, oh, this is not possible, to, oh, I'm going to be at the forefront of this. This is my dream. I want to do this. I'm putting myself out there.
Well, the whole change actually happened maybe about a year ago. Living on your own, working continuous different types of jobs that you're just not happy with. Like, I used to work, for the longest, everybody who knows me, I've loved animals my whole life. I've had animals my whole life. I swear to Christ, everybody that's ever come to my house knows it's a zoo. So I've always thought, you know what, drawing's a hobby, and I'll pursue veterinary or something like that.
And that's the thing. We always sit there and we make realistic what we're going to go to school for, what we're going to go to college for, get a job, join the rat race, instead of what we're passionate about, what we want to do with our lives. And that's the thing that sucks, is that we were never given the belief that we would be possible to get to that point where we could be in those positions that we want to be the head writer of something, be the animator, be, the person that's, out on the screen, acting out the scene, those are for the special lucky few people. No, that's not always possible. It's something that anyone can accomplish. It's just a lot of hard work. And I agree with you too on the whole living alone is what kind of causes it. Working these dead-end jobs that make you feel like crap 24/7 is really what gets your life into perspective. It's the slap in the face that we all needed to kind of just like, nah, I'm not going to take abuse. I'm gonna go ahead and go out there and get this done.
Right, absolutely. Like, one of the things that sucks, like, if you think about it on your day to day life, you're getting up at hours that you really don't care for, or, or if you do have late hours, you're working late hours, you're spending your late nights stuck in this job, and then throughout the day, you're just too tired to do anything. You're drained mentally and emotionally and physically to the point that you don't want to pursue anything. At this point, this is where I'm at. I don't want to do anything else. But what really kickstarts you, like one of the issues, the reason why we put ourselves in this situation, from my own experience, has always been someone's always going to be better than you. Someone's better than you, so why try? Well, what you need to understand as far as yourself, which is something I'm still learning, and you're always going to continue to learn in life, is that these people may be talented to get to where they're at right now, but it always takes hard work to get there. And even myself, like you can see the difference of continuous drawing that I've done over the years, and the difference of where I was then to where I am now.
It's like that comic that you see on Facebook. I don't remember the artist, but it's like, oh, I practice drawing, but I'm still not good. And you see like a little pile of paper behind them, and then the other person's like, oh, well, keep going, and they have a mountain, a literal mountain of drawings behind them. And I mean, I've seen that mountain grow behind you year after year. Because I mean, we're talking since 6th grade. We were like 11, maybe something like that. Yeah, so it's at least been 15, 16 years since we've known each other, and it's always been a pleasure seeing your art progress. Your phases go in and out, from Inuyasha to Supernatural, back to Inuyasha, then to something else, Avatar, Inuyasha again.
Hey, it's my go-to when I have like the world's most hardest art block. It's like, if I can't draw anything else by default, just draw what you started really drawing.
Exactly.
So one of the things that I like to mention, as far as I had said a little while ago about taking things from different aspects and kind of making that your own. Again, like I was, everybody, you're gonna hear it a lot. Everybody's into anime. Everybody sees anime everywhere, here and there. But different ones, you take certain aspects of them and bring them into your own style. Like, I swear to you, if it wasn't for you and the animations that you've shown me, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now, not gonna lie. And one of my strongest ones that I'll repeat to this day has been Fullmetal Panic.
Absolutely.
That completely changed the way I see art and how I've perceived it since. And even to this day, no matter how much my art has changed, there's still aspects of that animation in how I draw. So that's like, you always start somewhere, and it's okay to be influenced by other things to make it your own. So that's where we get to where we're at now.
Okay, so now my follow-up question to that is, what are you doing to make your dream come true right now? What are the steps you're taking to go from the background to the foreground?
So as of right now, it's literally happened within months. Like, I can't even tell you how fast the mentality changes. Like I promised you earlier this year, I was at a low point. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just, what do I do with myself? I'm working at this cruise line, just day in and day out, taking calls, letting people go on to their amazing vacations that they want to go to, but I'm still here. And I'm literally sitting at a booth drawing while taking calls. And just looking at it going, I need to get out of this. I need to do something. And even now, I'm still at another call center, but I still draw. And at this point right now where I'm at, what made me get up and just go, I'm going to do it, was just, I got into the world of tattooing. Now, how would that go into the aspect of animation? Honestly, it's a form of income that'll get you started while you can go and practice your animation. It gives you free time. It gives you extra income. It just gives you so many different things. And I want a style out of it that is new. You have your traditional styles of tattooing and all of this. And you have your Japanese style, you have an Asian style, you have so many different styles of tattooing that are so common that are right now. What really makes you stand out? You have to make a name for yourself. You have to make a style for yourself. And right now, there's only just now in these couple past few years that the style that I'm trying to pursue is starting to show up. So now I'm kind of one of those people that are in demand. So right now is a good time for me to get up and start. And that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but right now what I'm experiencing is what you experienced so many months ago. The mentality shift that you took. Uh, it's time and time again. Everyone I've talked to it happens. It's a mentality shift. You realize what's actually important to you, what you want to do, and then you keep pursuing it. It's off in the distance, but it's never been clearer. You can finally see that crystal clear image. I remember back in high school, 18, senior year, like, oh, I'm gonna go to college, I guess, go to community college, get my AA or something. I'm like, what the heck is that? I mean, that's not something that you want to do. It's something that you want to do is something that you're proud to do, something that you're passionate for, something that just makes you feel alive. As long as you've known me, I've played video games nonstop.
Absolutely.
I have not touched a video game since I've started this thing, and I have not wanted to go back to it. It's like, I don't want to presume it's like what drug addiction's like, but I seriously feel like I've just been cured of some sort of horrible affliction to me. I still love games and I still want to play them, but right now I just found something way more important to me, and I think that's the tonal shift that you need within your mind to get that to where you need to be in your life.
Yeah, to touch in on the gaming and all of that, I think at the time, for us at least, it was kind of like a means of escape of what's around us. So it's not even so much that we're like so obsessed with, oh my god, we need to play this game. It's more like, man, my day sucked. Let me get out of that mentality of what the heck I did today, and let me just immerse myself into this amazing world that I can somewhat be a part of, and kind of just forget for a little while.
Right. So now we're gonna move on to our what are we gonna do in the near future segment, where you basically say, what we don't want to use the word hope here. Not what do you hope to accomplish. What are you going to accomplish? What are the goals right now to push your career forward to make this passion into something that pays? What are you going to do for that?
Oh man, like where do I start? Where haven't I started? I'm like right now on every source of media you can possibly find. Like, media is your best friend in this field. In any kind of animation, voice acting, videos, music, singing.
It's the biggest way to put yourself out there at the moment.
Yeah, so you all know about it. Every singer starts off on YouTube making YouTube videos, doing covers, doing things like that. Same thing with voice actors. Your voice of
before American Idol.
Yeah, and even on American Idol. But yeah, I mean, same thing with voice acting. You're doing your own voice reels. You're doing covers of animations that have already been done, just to see how close you can get to that kind of emotion in your voice. Going from there, same thing with art. It's all your own characters, creating characters, making stories for these characters, putting a background for them. And even then, if you're not even doing that, hey, you're doing fan art. And a lot of people think fan art is not that big of a deal, but honestly it is. Fan art brings out a lot of, like, I guess, your own story to a character that already exists, and you can share that with people, and people generally join you on that bandwagon. And when it comes to situations like that, as far as this, again, the question goes, what are we going to do in order to make this happen? Well, like I said, I'm on every source of media right now. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I have a YouTube, but I don't really use it much. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Discord, and I'm definitely on Tumblr. So these are all my platforms of just a starting point. This is my stepping stool. And going from here on out is just keep at it every single day. any moment of the day. If you have time, put into it.
Commit to your field, commit to whatever you have to do to be able to push yourself along, get that next notch, climb that next rung. I remember, I believe it was Spooky Empire you said, where you had a booth and you were, doing fan art for people, doing commissions live. Is that something that you think you're going to continue doing to get yourself more out there? Is to try and get into more conventions locally before you can get out to more conventions or to more artists to get yourself out there more?
So as far as booths go, definitely something that I want to do in the future, especially once I kind of feel more comfortable getting faster at my drawing, because that's all commissions are, especially at conventions.
Time is money. Yep.
So at conventions, people are gonna come up to you going, here, I'm gonna slap some money in front of you, draw this for me, and I'll be back in 15, 20. And again, you as an artist, you're able to tell them, hey, be back in an hour, or however long it takes you to do it. But ideally, you want to speed it up, especially for something that's going to be drawn on the spot. So definitely something I want to do in the future. I also really want to join in on conventions, especially like Spooky Empire, who actually have tattoo booths.
That would be amazing for you to do. I'd love to see you just live streaming you making tattoos for just people who just happen to walk by. I think that'd be amazing to see.
Man, it's not even just drawing your tattoo, it's literally tattooing at the same place.
Stenciling it on there, throwing them on there and everything.
Yeah, it's just something that I look forward to doing. Traveling, like, I don't want to be that standard person that, yeah, I'm gonna tattoo and then I'm just gonna make a little shop in the corner and then you guys come on over and no, man, I want to travel. I want to take what I have in my hands and just go around. I'll go to you. I don't care what it takes. You're not gonna get anywhere staying in the same spot. So yeah, let's say you do become successful as a tattoo artist and you sit in a shop waiting, like on South Beach where all the tattoo artists are. Now you're competing with other shops sitting there. Why am I going to compete with you? I don't need to compete with you. I'll go to you. I'll go to other places. I will travel and make sure that my name is out there everywhere. Not just, hey, I'm from Florida, I'm going to tattoo.
And that's another thing that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, when it will happen, when I'm a voice actor, going to different conventions, being invited to conventions instead of showing up and paying money. Having them pay me is going to be awesome. Because if you haven't noticed by this, I do enjoy answering personal questions. It's kind of fun to just people you don't know, just asking you things about yourself. It's a very
an out-of-body experience.
Out-of-body, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So that's gonna be great. I can't wait to see what you'll actually do out there, because putting you on the spot and getting a tattoo done that same day is like, oh, boom, I want this done to me right now, and then you just throw it on them. That's got to be a completely different experience to, like, okay, come back week after week and do a new session of your tattoo. Oh, we're gonna do just the lines this time, and then we're gonna do coloring next time, and it's got to be just a serene, really weird, surreal experience.
Yeah, these past few weeks, like not even weeks, a couple months now, I've just been straight watching different artists and how they work. Like just their work ethic when it comes to tattooing. And there's so many different styles of how to do it, and everybody has their own ways of doing it. But the fundamentals are all the same.
So go ahead and tell me about your first tattoo, and you don't have to say who it was for, but you can tell us what it was. I'm gonna have a picture, of course, on the video, but just give us a little bit of an explanation about it.
All right, so my first tattoo. Let me tell you how that went down. So my coworker at the time, she's not my ex-coworker, she doesn't work there anymore, but this girl is literally tattooed from head to toe. Like, she is a walking canvas, and she doesn't care how it looks. It's just that she's just like that. So I kind of mentioned to her, this is actually big props to her, because she actually is the one who pushed me in this direction. She's the one who forced me to get in it and actually do it. Because I've always talked about it. Yeah, maybe I'll get into tattoos. My mom always told me, yeah, you should probably do tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, do I really want to do tattoos?
It's always all talk until someone you meet actually gets you to go and to push yourself in that direction, to your dream and it starts forming into a solid reality, and that's just such a weird feeling.
Oh, it's crazy. Like again, so she pushed me into it, and I was just like, "All right, I'll tattoo you." And she's like, "I don't." And then I go back with the whole, "Yeah, I'm gonna tattoo you, but I kind of don't have the stuff right now. I only have my gun, and I have a couple little inks here and there." And she's like, "No, don't worry about that. I got you." And I'm like, "What do you mean you got me?" She's like, "All right, watch tomorrow." Tomorrow, the next day I get to work. There's an Amazon box sitting on my desk with 2 boxes of 100 plus assorted needles, um, gloves, ink, just everything I needed to start. And she's like, "I'll be at your house Friday." So she comes over Friday. And I'm like, "Okay, so I have this stuff. What do you want?" And she's like, "Whatever you want." And I'm like, "I don't know what to draw on you." And she's like, "We'll figure something out." And so she was looking through my sketchbook. And one of my sketchbook, I was drawing Miraculous Ladybug. And I had drawn a quick doodle of Plague, who is the cat you're seeing in this video. And she was like, "I like him. Draw him." I'm like, "But do you know who he is?" She's like, "I don't care what he is. I like him. Draw him." So, okay. So here I go. I just doodled up this quick sketch of him and slapped it on her foot. And she's like, "Get started. I'll tell you if you're going too deep or how the pressure feels." I've never tattooed anyone in my life. I was freaking out. My hands were shaking. I was like, "I'm going to hurt you." And she's like, "No, you're fine." So here we go. First line goes. Of course, my first line is a little bit wobbly. And she's like, "No, no, okay. You're a little bit too deep." And she just guided me through it. So yeah, here's my first tattoo. Now, of course, I look at it and it's just so many little mistakes, but you know what it is? It's the first one. And after that, it got easier and easier and easier. My lines still aren't perfect. They probably won't be for a little while, but I've gotten better each tattoo. And it's practice, practice. And it's the same like when I started drawing. It's practice and making sure your line work looks as crisp as your pencil work. And it's just on and on and on. And to this day, she's still a canvas. To this day, she's like, "I want you to do a full Tim Burton sleeve on me. Let's do it."
Oh my God, that would be amazing. But what a great story. It seems more and more clear that people are put on this earth in your way on purpose to get you to get off your ass, do something about it, find your passion. And if you're one of those people out there, thank you. Just seriously, thank you. Because we're idiots and we needed the push to get up off of our asses to try and achieve a dream, make something of this life that's not just a slog, just digging through the trenches doing nothing with your life. But what an amazing story. Just, I can't believe that.
Oh man, she pushed me into it. Like she forced me to do it. And again, it just takes people and who truly push you and believe in what you're
truly
doing.
Care about what you're doing.
And mind you, this is someone that I had just met at work, and I had known her for maybe 2 weeks that she had been working there, maybe almost a month, and she just pushed me to do it. And I'm mentioning her, and she's really good at what she helped me out here, but a lot of my support also comes from my boyfriend. He pushes me to do more and do more tattoos, and he's like, "Tattoo me or tattoo yourself or whatever," and that actually comes up to the next tattoo I just did.
Yep. Tell us about the latest one. You actually just showed it to me. Give us a little rundown of what happened, how you came about the idea. Just go ahead.
So my next tattoo, which is actually the last one I just recently did. So everybody who knows me, as far as Disney characters go, my favorite Disney character is Peter Pan. It has been my favorite for I don't know how long. But so I was sitting at my desk at work, where all my ideas come from, because, sitting mindlessly in a box talking to people eventually gets you mind wandering everywhere but what you're doing. So I started thinking about Peter Pan. And, I was like, you know what would be neat? I want a Peter Pan tattoo. But I wanted something that no one's done yet. So I started looking on Google, and I was just looking up Peter Pan tattoos. You have Peter Pan, Wendy, the whole group.
You got Big Ben, or the stars.
Yeah, definitely the second star to the right. You know, straight to Neverland. All the sayings, all the wording. Never grow up. One of the Lost Boys. All this different ideas. And I was like, you know what? One of the main things that makes me think of Peter Pan, which is strange, I think, to anyone, I guess, would be his feather, the little red feather that's in his cap. So I was like, you know what? Has anyone used it? So I looked it up every which way I could, and nobody has thought about it. Not just the feather. At least not as a tattoo idea. So I went, all right, let me draw this feather out. So I drew out the feather, and I drew pixie dust all around it in yellow. And then I did the stars in blue, and I did the red feather. And I was like, you know what? I like it. I'm going to tattoo it on myself.
That's awesome. It's great when you have passions like that, but then you can put your own spin on it, just like you were saying, your own artistic style. But as well, no tattoo is ever going to be the same. No tattoo will look as clear as crisp as each other. There's always going to be some sort of artistic twist on it, or some sort of different direction that the artist either went, or the subscriber wanted. The person wanted something completely different. There's always going to be different meanings for different people, and those experiences are awesome. I find tattoo stories to be so interesting when you hear about them. I always like asking people about their tattoos.
Yeah, definitely this Peter Pan one was kind of important to me, simply because one thing that Peter Pan stands for is keeping your childhood, keeping the child in you. And that is something that I feel is something that's always going to stick with me, because I'm never going to be that adult that doesn't watch cartoons or doesn't watch anime or doesn't go to conventions or, do all these things that are nowadays known as things that children do.
Well, now it's becoming nerd culture. It's becoming chic. And I mean, what's great about things like that is the imagination and passion that it puts into you at such a young age. And it's something that sticks with you for the rest of your life. Our parents always thought it was just a phase, or we're going to get out of it eventually.
You'll grow up.
Yeah, we're sitting here 28 right now. Look at me now.
Yeah, man, like, we used to sit here and watch, like, you still watching these cartoons? When are you going to grow up? Like, or aren't you going to do something else with your life? No, man, this is what I want to do. This is what sparked me and inspired me my whole life. This is what I grew up on. This is basically who taught me to grow up. What the old generation doesn't see is a lot of the stuff that we see now in shows that we see now. The shows we see aren't childish at all. There's so much story. There's so much deep emotion. You feel for characters. You cry for characters. I mean, I can't tell you how many times character deaths have destroyed me where I just cry like a little baby.
There's entire sites about it. So
oh
yes,
my God.
But it's cyclical. Cartoons never were originally made for children. Cartoons back in the 1920s were all, adult-made cartoons. People would go to theaters and watch these, what were they, like, not even a few minutes, clips that people, they drew and took forever to get them all. Cyclical. Then something happened where it ended up turning into a children's medium, and that mentality somehow stuck. But I'm glad that it's come back around to something that can be enjoyed by all ages. And now here we are watching comic book movies, I've seen so many adults going to conventions. D&D is super popular now. In the 80s, it was nothing. People in a basement pretending all the time. Now you can be open about it, and you're praised for it, not destroyed for it. So the present is amazing right now. So now we established the present. Let's go ahead and look towards the future now. Where do you see yourself after all this hard work? What do you plan on doing with the future? Do you want your own art studio? Do you want your own to be working for like Warner Brothers, or who knows what, somewhere out in the West, drawing for Blizzard or something, making the next Overwatch.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I want to be my own boss, man.
That's where it started for me too. I want to be able to control myself and what I do with my life. You have to work for that, of course. You can't just start and say, yeah, I'm going to be my own boss. You have to develop the skills, put yourself out there, and then you can choose the work that you want to do.
Right. So in regards to that, in future, yeah, definitely want to be my own boss. Want to be doing my own thing. You're obviously going to have to work with people along the way. You're going to have to be, someone's employee, making money.
Team effort.
It's a team effort. You're gonna have to. But in the future, definitely, we're already looking into making our own studio. We're already looking into possibly coming out with hopefully in the very near future, maybe in the next year, probably coming out with our own web series that, hopefully we can get someone bigger aboard to make it what it's going to be.
I mean, Monty Ohm started with Dead Fantasy in his house. He's sitting there making this amazing thing, and that blew up and went viral before viral was a thing. Then he made Ruby, his dream passion work, and it's blown up. Because of that, Rooster Teeth is now a name to be reckoned with. They have their own convention. It's amazing what the years transforms you into. It's like literally waves crashing upon a stone, just molding it over time. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, as far as being in your own production, own studio, you got to start somewhere, and this is where we're starting. We've already got concept art down. It's a little project that's starting. We got a couple people above it on going on to it, but our Kickstarter hopefully will be coming out soon. I wish I could tell you more, unfortunately, but I can't.
Those dang NDAs, man, they're out to get you.
Oh yeah, they're all signed and ready to go. They've already been signed, so definitely can't talk much about it. But yeah, definitely have a lot of concept art already on it. We already have a musician for it. We already have a couple things already set on in gameplay. So we have a lot of writing already done. So hopefully you can be looking forward to that in the next couple years, as far as just coming out with the first episode. And that's gonna be a big step. Like these are all people that these are our big steps. We've not done anything else. We're brand new, and hopefully, not even hopefully, it's gonna happen. We're gonna.
That's what I was gonna say.
We're gonna definitely show that you don't need a continuous push. You just need to do the first step. That this first step has made greatness.
What's that line from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I always quote? It's not about the size of the steps you take, it's that they're in the right direction. And that's really always going to be key for me and for, I'm sure, you and millions of others out there that want their dream to be a reality. So I want to end the show off with a little bit of self-affirmation. On my board here, I've written out a little self-affirmation mantra. It's something very specific, but it's I want to be a little more general or broad about it. I want to be the star of an animated comic book movie. I want to be the star of a 20 or 30 season sitcom that, my name will be recognized by everyone. What is your self-affirmation goal? What do you want to turn from just words into reality?
My reality would be I am a tattoo artist, and that my name will be in credits for animations and concept art and writing and everything that has to do with it.
That one day it's going to happen. I can promise you that. I know I'm going to end up seeing your name at the end of a movie.
Man, you're going to work with me, dude.
Hopefully. No, not hopefully. That will happen. It will. Got to get that word out of our vocabulary. There is no hope, you have to do. There is no try, only do. Thank you, Yoda.
Of course, Star Wars.
Thanks again for tuning in, guys. My name is Chris.
My name is Kathy. Thanks for watching.
Have a wonderful day, guys.